United States, the United States Air Force, and a grateful nation. Please accept this flag as our symbol of appreciation for your loved one's honorable and faithful service.
Thank you all for attending the ceremony to honor Dad's life. It is with heavy hearts that we announce the passing of Clint Edward Graffam. He passed peacefully in his home on February 28, 2025 in Tucson, Arizona at 91 years of age. He was born January 23rd, 1934 in Brooklyn, New York. Clint joined the Air Force on May 19, 1952, earning both the National Defense Service Medal and the Good Conduct Medal from the Air Force. While deployed in England during the Korean War, he met a farm girl from Fakenham, England, in close proximity to where he was stationed. Clint eagerly married Christine Mary Howard in her hometown May 7, 1955. He was preceded in death by his loving first wife of 35 years, Christine, his three brothers, Bob, Bill, and Ken, his two sisters, Connie and Dolores. Clint is survived by his wife of 26 years, Carol, his children, Terry, Jim, and Ray, 7 grandchildren, 4 great-grandchildren, as well as many other family and friends. Clint took on a variety of professions during his lifetime, ranging from a police officer in both Albuquerque, New Mexico, and White Plains, New York, and then transitioning to an entrepreneur, notably Armor Security Services, Fort Hills Mobile Homes, and then following his love in Indian art, with Arrow Indian Art, and lastly Adobe Trading Post. Clint was a charitable and hardworking man and brought joy and warmth everywhere he went, always ready to joke with a story. He was quick-witted, loyal, strong, and determined. His wife, family, and friends will miss him greatly. The family wishes to thank Tucson Veterans Hospital, Rita Hospice Care, and the Veterans Memorial Cemetery, as well as friends and family for their calls and visits in its final years. For me personally, when I was thinking about what I wanted to say in my eulogy, my mind raced from every part of my past. Growing up with Dad was fun, funny, and packed with adventure, but sometimes it also full of memories that had me shaking in my boots, and Mom said, "You wait till your father gets home." Those are the times I really wanted to forget, but after thinking about it for a minute or so, those are really the times I learned the most. We didn't always see eye to eye, but there was always a respect for the man and father he was and the man I had become. He groomed each of us to grow up strong, independent, and to stand up for what we believed in. Dad was stern, ruled with an iron fist, and I respect him for that now, not so much then. Valuable life lessons he instilled in me and expected from me, knowing that his strong values would be integrated into the fiber of my being growing up, for he was true to his word. Truth, honor, and pride were all words that Dad lived by. And he would say, if you don't have that, you are not a man. He was a teacher. He was willing if you were willing to learn. He would show you what to do and how to not give up, how to persevere and follow through, how to build, how to have pride in what you built and the things you created. It was never a we can't do this attitude, but always we will get this done. If he didn't know how to do something, he faked it. We learned together, but the job still got done. Dad was truly one of a kind, a great man, father, grandfather, and friend who would give you the shirt off his back. He was a man of values, character, and above all, integrity. I love you, Dad. You sincerely will be missed.
See if I can get their mind. I'll just say ditto, is that good? Okay, good morning. I want to thank each of you for being here to celebrate the life of my dad. I'm truly grateful for the parents that I was blessed with. I'm proud of my dad for his accomplishments in life. When he didn't know, he would learn and figure out. The first and foremost is the 4 years of service that he spent in the Air Force in the 1950s. And lucky for Dad and us, he was stationed in England, where he met a beautiful and shy young farm girl who he married on May 7, 1955, in England, then soon moved to the United States of America. After a short visit to New York, they settled in the Southwest in Albuquerque, New Mexico. There he spent time as a policeman in Albuquerque, as well as in New York later on, when we moved back there in 1963, when I was 4 years old. He acquired a job and worked at BCI doing some fingerprinting, and he also worked as a security guard at night for extra income to support our family. Excuse me. Finally, my dad managed a mobile home park near West Point, and then we moved to upstate New York, where we eventually had our home on some property with a sales lot next door where we sold and set up mobile homes. Even though we lived in several places in New York, I'm grateful to have met many of our aunts, uncles, and grandparents that lived there. We all moved from New York back to the Southwest to Tucson, Arizona in 1979. Soon after we moved here, Dad's final career path was the opening of Adobe Trading Post, where he sold beautiful and authentic Indian artwork, and some of it I'm wearing today. He enjoyed going to the Indian reservations to pick up these items to sell in his shop. But as we all know, that chapter of his life closed shortly after the passing of my mom in 1990. But luckily, years later, we met another wonderful woman named Carol. And they got married in April of 1998. I am glad to call her my second mom, and so grateful for her as a wife and a caretaker for my dad in his final years and days. It was because of Carol Dad was able to die peacefully at home where he wanted to be facing the beautiful mountains from his living room window. Out of all 6 of his siblings, his 3 brothers and 2 sisters, he surpassed all of them and was the final one to pass on February 28th, 2025. I say all of this because growing up with Dad was sometimes hard, and he was controlling, and we were disciplined strongly, but through fear. But this has made the proud daughter. This has made me a proud daughter who has been given strong work ethics, strength, courage, love, and always saving for a rainy day, financial advice, and the respect. And that's how I was raised. There were many times I questioned this in my head, but now I believe it was for the best. God was always there for us when we needed him. And there is nothing better than that. I love you, Dad.
So I know you guys might not be able to hear that. It's I think everybody knows the song. The song is called Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel. I didn't play it because Dad particularly liked them. Heck, Dad really wouldn't like to say the word Garfunkel. I think it would be more like George Jones or something like that. It's just the first song that I thought of after Dad's passing. Remember how it starts? Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Accurately describes our conversations with Dad these days. See, Dad was from another time when loose lips sink ships, and marriage was until death do you part, and he did it twice. For a man that had a troubled childhood with an alcoholic father, he certainly did not follow in those footsteps. Dad was a highly moral man, fiercely revered honesty and respect, loved children and fought hard to give us a better life. Shaped by the military and his time as a police officer, we always knew, like Terry said, that he would always be there for us in a heartbeat. To my sister Terry and my brother Jim, I'm sorry for our loss. And to Carol, Dad's wife of 26 years, thank you for your love and caring for Dad in the last couple of years, but more importantly, the joy that you brought in the 20 years with us prior. Dad and I had a special relationship, perhaps partly our unique bond with the military. I make him and he shot him. As a nuclear tech stationed in England during the Korean War, I'm glad he never shot that one. I loved his wit, integrity, mental toughness, and his wonderful sense of humor. I think he was proud of the fact that his children were all successful in their own right. I can't recall who said it, but when asked, what happens when you die? They responded, I know the people that love him miss him very much. And that I can say is unequivocally true. Love you, Dad. And thank you all for coming to honor his memory today. Peter?
Graffam hired me for the first time when I was 19 years old. I gotta get over these speeches. He was 19 years my senior. He was my boss off and on for the next decade. He fired me, I quit, he fired me. Went on for plenty of time. He was my advisor. He encouraged me to continue my education. He was my mentor. He would teach me how to take what I learned and bring it to practice. Over the next 50 years, he and I became friends, best of friends. We became confidants. He would often talk about his work, our work, my work, his family. How he was proud of his children and his grandchildren. He would also talk about his love for the lucky man, 2 wives. He loved them both. He was a hard man, no nonsense man. He was fair. He respected hard work and he enjoyed smart planning. And I'm kind of rudderless, facing a life where I don't have, Clint Graffam to call and ask for advice. He will surely do this. Thank you.
Concludes our service today. We'll ask that everyone, once the Patriot Guard Riders have exited, will return to our vehicles and we'll drive just around the corner and we'll go to the On behalf of the Arizona Veterans Memorial Cemetery, we're truly sorry for your loss.